Good morning. Friday morning, man, and I got one property to go do. The reason Cam's not working today is because, well, I didn't go into it yesterday, but he was telling me that they got graduation and all, and he's wanting to go to the graduation for his peeps, right? And I said, well, today I'm going to be working out there, in Gay, Georgia, so I could pick you up and drop you off. He says, oh, I'm going to be in Noonan and all this. And so I knew that it was going to be a hard time for him to get here. And it'd be worthy, right? And once we bought, and I don't really, some of the hating comments are just ridiculous. I was just trying to make it easier for him because this week has been a good week. And he has done really good, right? But so the weather made it not the weather the last few days, but some of the areas that we were cutting or to cut yesterday, we couldn't cut them, and pretty significant areas too, which made us where we were not able to get everything done. I mean, we got everything done that we could do, right? But it still affects the money and the time of everything. So basically what we did is we couldn't mow. I got a big drainage area that we mow for one of the commercial customers. You guys have been over there. He almost got the mower stuck over there, and it's really wet, and we couldn't cut it. So instead of us spending an hour and a half there, we spent that hour and a half somewhere else, which is taking away from today, right? And I know today I can't go over there to that drainage area and do that today either. It's going to be way too wet. I've been cutting that property over there for 10 years, or longer than that. I was cutting it before my commercial people bought the property. I'm the one that told them the property was for sale before it ever went on the market. So, because I knew they're always looking for properties that are in this general area. So if it wasn't for me, they probably wouldn't even own that property, because well, they might, but they wouldn't have got it. They bought that property before it ever even went to market, because I knew the owner and I knew the owners of the commercial company. So, and that's kind of how they ended up getting it. Not that I'm a sales rep or nothing, but that's what happened. But that's, that's what happened yesterday. And with me losing the, with me, running over the camera. So I lost more than just the camera yesterday, okay? I lost the SD card. The SD card is $50. I mean, that's a fact. I had to order another one today. Because you can't just do videos, and it'd be of high quality with cheap SD cards. Well, what ends up happening is the SD card messes up, and then you got footage, and it might be some game-changing footage, and you don't really have the footage. So I was a little bit, taken aback, and then it'd be nice to be able to save the battery out of the camera. Because the batteries, they're $60 each or something like that. Anytime, I get so sick and tired of guys coming in the comments and saying things like, well, you make all this money, man, it ain't a big deal. You sound ridiculous when you say that. Just because somebody makes decent money or don't make decent money, it doesn't change anything. I still don't like wasting money. It's like, leaving a light on in the garage. I mean, yeah, I can afford to leave the light on in the garage, but I don't like to do that. I mean, call me fucking cheap, call me whatever you want to call me. I mean, it's ridiculous, man. And I just don't get it. I don't get it, and I never will, I don't think. Yesterday, we ran into a lot of issues, and and Cam was not going to be, I didn't know if he was even going to be able to work today. So once we did them other couple of properties that were not on yesterday and that was on today, that's when I told him, I'm like, dude, all I got is that one big one out there in Gay, Georgia to do this morning. And, you know, I can pick you up and take you out there with me, and I can pay you to help me. Usually I'll give, if like the last time he came out there and helped me, I picked him up. I gave him $50. He cut the backyard over there, and I dropped him off on the way back. Now, that makes sense. He worked an hour, and he made $50, and he didn't have to worry about a ride or anything. Contrary to what some of the guys in the comments may think or whatever, he's only 16 years old, so he doesn't have a ride. Now, that ain't my problem and all that. I get that. I understand that. I know that. But I don't want to make it logistically harder for him to get to work, right? When he wasn't even going to be at his house today. He was going to be over at his friend's house because they going to the graduation ceremony. So after I got home yesterday, to make things worse, I was up here, with the skid around the edges of the concrete, pulling some of it back and all that. And terrible, man. So I I had the bucket too low, and the bucket caught the corner of the concrete and broke it off, man. A chunk about like this, the whole corner. And I knew that was a suspect spot, because it's way out on the corner, and I was digging out from around it, because I was going to put a pipe in, and that bucket hit it hard, man. I thought the bucket was up higher than that, and it just wasn't, man. One thing about that, and I'm not, it's my fault, of course. One thing about having the plexiglass or the bulletproof glass in the skid is it scratches real easy, and you can't see that great. And no excuses, but yeah, terrible. But what I'm running into is I need a ramp to get up on the concrete, and I'm torn between building something myself. Like, I got stuff around here that I could, I could damn throw some wood up or whatever. I got wood and steel laying around here, and but I basically need like a wedge, like I got on the roadside down here. I just need it off of this new concrete. But I can't believe I cracked the corner of the concrete, man. It ain't in the grand scheme of life, it ain't a big deal. It's just, one mistake after another, man. You got to be able to stay out of your own damn way. I paid, $6,700 for the concrete and everything, and there I am, busted a corner up. Just broke the whole piece off, the whole corner. After I was digging out from under it to be able to shore it up, with thinking about how I'm gonna do that. And I was gonna lay a drainage pipe coming down that corner, going toward that pipe that goes under the driveway, for the drain there. And I dug out from under it, and I made a mistake. And then I hit it hard, man, with that new bucket I got. And I saw it crack, and I'm like, oh my God. So then I got out of the machine, I stepped on it, and it was loose. So anyway, I ain't gonna get too caught up in all that. What else I got, y'all? I ain't got a lot, man. But Cam, he was gonna have a hard time working today because of where he stayed at last night with his buddies up in Noonan. And once we did them yards, like I said, I didn't. It wasn't mandatory. It ain't 100% mandatory. I have him out here any day, to be honest. So As long as I know that he's coming to work or not coming to work the night before, then I'm okay. What I don't like, and I'll say it 100,000 times in the years I've been doing YouTube, I don't like surprises at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's all. And true enough, it's my fault that I had the blower there, and it's never been a problem. You know, the whole time I've had this trailer, and y'all know I've had this trailer for years. The whole time I've had this trailer, and running, you know, 2 mowers on this trailer, I haven't really had a lot of issues. Not a lot. I've had some, a lot of issues with, you know, that blower trigger being in the way, because normally I'm the only one using this trailer. You know, last year I didn't have a guy in the truck with me, right? So why it wasn't ever a problem, because I know not to watch out for it. And the year before that, you know, not many times have I in the last since I got this trailer have I not ran 2 trucks for the majority of the work, right? But this year, y'all know I'm running 1 truck, so we're steady on and off with both the mowers. And because there's never been an issue up until, you know, a big issue up until now. Now, unstoppable, man. Back to those. See, I don't understand why you don't come around and get the whole thing. I did this. See, he's trying to do one side at a time, and that's just not how I want to do it, man. That's how you miss stuff. Let me straighten them out real quick. Now on this job right here, I could go back and forth, you know, but I like to get, so now, see, so, that look good. See, what he needs to do now is turn around. Hey, the weed killer work pretty good around there? Did the weed killer work pretty good? So,
this line on the left needs to probably hit.
Yeah. So now what I do, this is what I always do, because that mower is only 25 horsepower. It ain't like a 30. So now what I do is I turn around and I'm blowing it out. Because if you keep going this way, by the time you get 5 or 6 more passes, you're taxing the hell out of the mower.
Cutting more.
Well, you're having to throw more grass than you're cutting.
You're only cutting what you've already cut.
Yeah, you don't want to cut it twice. But what I always do there in the front, before I turn around, and we're in the back, before I turn around, I go back and forth right there for a second, just forward and backwards, not turning around where the porch is,
yeah,
getting it out here. So then when I do make my turnaround and I am blowing it toward the house, I'm way away from the house. You got to have to eventually turn around, and you don't.
You get past that crack little.
Well, if you turn around right now, you're good, right? Even if you have to come away from the house a little bit and miss a piece right there, right? And just come on around and being able to be far away from those air conditioners, we're not blowing it into them yet, and all that. And that's why I always, you know, make these passes like this that way. And then as soon as I come off them air conditioners far enough, then I'm turning around. You know, and usually by that time I'm far enough away from the porch, the air conditioners and everything to where, because if you keep going this way, you know what it's gonna do. It's gonna start clogging and everything. And then, you know, well, it's just not gonna look as good. But he wants me to do the bushes over here. Dude, the bushes are freaking. Last time I did them, dude, it took me and Katie and Trev all day. About 6 hours, dude. I was beat, man. Another thing that I do, y'all, when I'm cutting these squares out, you know, going around and around, is I try to make these turns where you're not going there and then making a 90. You're just easing around. You round it off so you don't make tire marks, especially when you got guys working for you. So, because you'll see when you got guys out here working for you that they'll get to this edge here, and then they'll hardcore turn, and it'll make a tire mark. See, there's no tire marks because I round it, man. So even when they're out here with me and I'm in front of them, I always round it. Just like this. Another thing, he told me he would give me $300 to remove this tree. I could do that with a chainsaw and a lawnmower. He doesn't want to do it today, but I told him, you know, give me $300 and I'll take that tree to the woods. It ain't really worthy of bringing a skid out here, though I could, you know. It'd take the skid, would just go right up to it with a grapple, grab it, carry it to the woods, and load up out of here, $300. But it's hard to justify that, you know. But if you own the machine, you can do whatever you want to do, really. I'd be making money at $300. It's according to what else I got going on, you know. So, all right. So now a lot of these pumps will be dry. So I just pick the deck up a little bit. nothing. That right there would make me buy X-Mark right there. Let's look at it. This line right here is backwards. This line right here is forward. Yeah, I don't see a difference, man. Okay, guys, so I just pulled up over here. This property right here is, and you need skid steer over here, dude. I mean, this property is bad. Lawn maintenance, oh man. I mean, there's so much debris around. I'm gonna try to, I don't know if anybody's here or not. It looks like they're doing some construction on the house. But it ain't no manicured lawn, which I like. But there's so much debris. I mean, there's a lot of debris. I'm gonna put the camera in my hand and hop out and walk around for a minute and keep my phone handy. And some properties you have to ask yourself, do you even want them? So, yeah, this is, oh my God, dude, you're gonna have, there's a lot of, yeah, I don't know if I can do this property. There's no sense in even really looking too deep. What do they got right there? Those 3 generators, look, those Guardian generators. The grass is real tall. Yeah, this is skid steer job here. Knock, knock. Anybody home? Hello? Like they're renovating. I mean, the grass is pretty good grass here. I don't know, man. Yeah, we're gonna come in around $500 to get it in order. It's just way too. You might just say, "Hey, Ray, just cut the grass. I'll give you $100 to cut the grass." As far as maintaining it, so I'm gonna back up in here and try to get out, man. Look at all that. There's a lot that needs to happen over here before it's ready for lawn maintenance. Yeah, man, y'all know I like trashy yards, but some yards are too trashy. And this is not a, I don't know if this is a, almost like I've been, like, he was telling me, yeah, man, they want lawn maintenance over there. It's his sister or something. And I'm like, dude, if you, I couldn't get nobody on the phone. But I'm like, dude, have you seen that property, man? That's what I'm gonna say to him when I call him. I know he has, because it ain't ready for no lawn maintenance. Shit, they need a freaking cleanup over here. Okay, y'all, so that's a wrap, man. It's 3 o'clock. I made a little bit more today than what I thought. I did a lot of spraying over there. I sprayed like 6 gallons. Yeah. Covered all the cracks in the concrete. The weeds were really bad, and that's because the owner, doesn't want to pay for the lawn guy to do that. And I'm not the lawn guy. He doesn't want to pay for a guy like me to do it. He's got a guy over there cutting that commercial site, and it's big.
for $150 a cut. A lot of detail, and he's trying to get the lawn guy won't spray because he's already losing money at $300 a month. So I don't blame him, man. But the manager's the one that hired me to spray because the owner doesn't want to pay the lawn guy to do it. And you know, I was at one time was going to do the lawn over there, and I realized real quick that the owner's not wanting to pay what I would be at $600, $700 over there. Double. I said double. So he got some young kid over there doing it, you know, and I think that young kid's about at the end of his rope because the property looks terrible. And there's something to be said when you are a lawn guy and you do a property and it still looks terrible. It's always because the owner doesn't want to pay enough or doesn't want to pay, you know, for you to spend the time it takes to do the job correctly. But you took it on, you know, because, well, you're young in the game or whatever. And only to realize that really you're probably going to have to drop that customer. See, I don't like doing properties and turn around and looking at them and they look like shit. I don't like doing that. Something that does something to my head, man. And, you know, and I've dropped customers behind that. I have. Lots of times. And y'all know I'm not a real particular lawn guy, you know, I mean, so you know if I drop them because of that, then it's pretty bad. So but that's all I'm doing. Next week might be a $9,000 or $10,000 week. Just saying. When you got the equipment that I have, you ain't even got to know nothing. Just own the equipment. You're good. You can learn that. You can learn everything else. You can't learn to buy equipment though. You can't learn to own equipment. If you're smart with your money out here, you can overcome most things pretty easy. If you blow your money out here, then everything is desperate. It affects everything because it makes you more desperate for work, which makes you cheaper. It just does. But anyway, y'all know what it is, man. It's Sammy Time Friday, y'all.